please promise us you will give us more ability to import the best and brightest around the world to America.
I do promise, but I happen to agree. That's why I promise. Otherwise, I wouldn't promise. Let me just tell you that it's so sad when we lose people from Harvard, MIT, from the greatest schools and lesser schools that are phenomenal schools also. And what I wanted to do, and I would have done this, but then we had to solve the COVID problem because that came in and, sort of dominated for a little while, as you perhaps know. But what I want to do and what I will do is you graduate from a college, I think you should get automatically as part of your diploma a green card to be able to stay in this country. And that includes junior colleges too. Anybody graduates from a college, you go in there for 2 years or 4 years. If you graduate or you get a doctorate degree from a college, you should be able to stay in this country. Not everybody can be less than smart. You need brilliant people. And we force the brilliant people, the people that graduate from college, the people that are number one in their class from the best colleges, you have to be able to recruit these people and keep the people. It was such a big deal. Somebody graduates at the top of the class. They can't even make a deal with the company because they don't think they're going to be able to stay in the country. That is going to end on day one.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I think we all wholeheartedly agree with that. Being in the tech industry, we understand the importance of that.
Donald Trump steps in it on immigration and quickly walks back his promise to give every college and community college graduate a green card to remain in the United States. Let's discuss. I'm Dave Aronberg, state attorney for Palm Beach County, aka the Florida Lawman, here on the MeidasTouch Network. And let's talk about Trump, who is on this podcast, this all-in podcast, where he said in response to a questioner about police leaving, can you do something about the brain drain we're having where students are not staying in the United States after they graduate from colleges? And then Trump, did what he often does. He, tries to please whatever crowd he's with. And he responded by giving this very generous immigration proposal, something he would bash Joe Biden for, about allowing any graduate from any college, any community college, to stay in the United States and get a green card upon graduation. Ooh, you can imagine the controversy. Yeah, that sound you hear, that's the sound of all those MAGA anti-immigration supporters screaming at the top of their lungs saying, what? Now, of course, in the end, they'll all stick with Trump because Trump could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and get away with it. But when it comes to immigration, yeah, there was a big controversy, and in no time, he's walked it back. Here's the latest. According to The Independent, the campaign is now emphasizing the strict vetting process as part of the plan after the idea received immediate pushback. Center for Immigration Studies Executive Director Mark Krikorian told the New York Post that it was a, quote, cockamamie proposal. If someone earns a PhD at a university in a hard science, I personally will drive to their house and give them a green card, Krikorian said. The issue is any foreign college graduate, even from a bogus 2 years master's program or gender studies, would get a green card. Fox News reports Chris Kimolensky, president of the Conservative Immigration Accountability Project, is saying that the plan would reduce wages for all Americans, increase job competition, particularly for recent college graduates, and pose a national security threat. U.S. immigration policy must serve the interests of all Americans, not the interests of elite business leaders who seek cheap labor. How dare Joe Biden propose that? Oh, no, it was Trump. Okay, say his name. These folks who are critics of Trump on the right never criticize Trump by name when they don't like his proposals, when they don't like something he says. They never seem to really want to deal directly with the former president because they're afraid, I think, that he's going to tweet at him angrily or put it on his Truth Social site. They're worried. But at the same time, they want to express their discontent. And now Trump is backing down. Trump campaign spokesperson Caroline Leavitt said in a statement to media outlets, President Trump has made it clear that on day one of his new administration, he's going to shut down the border and launch the largest mass deportation effort of illegal aliens in history. She also said that Trump's green card proposal would include an aggressive vetting process that would exclude all communists, radical Islamists, Hamas supporters, America haters, and public charges. Leavitt continued, he believes only after such vetting has taken place, we ought to keep the most skilled graduates who can make significant contributions to America. This would only apply to the most thoroughly vetted college graduates who would never undercut American wages or workers. Yes, so they're going to have this new bureaucracy. It's going to have this very intense vetting process, and you'll get more specifics on this in 2 weeks, just when his healthcare proposal comes out about the same time. Yeah, it'll be like infrastructure week again. So again, this shows you the chaos that we may have forgotten about, at least not on this channel, but a lot of people may have forgotten about during the Trump presidency. This was the norm. You make a crazy statement, let's buy Greenland, let's nuke a hurricane, and then you walk it back, or maybe you just use a Sharpie and prove you're right all along. So this is what's going on right now, and there are more critics. Catherine Rampell from the Washington Post said that when he was president, Trump made the problem significantly worse. He, or aides such as Stephen Miller, implemented policies that further restricted skilled legal immigration and made the lives of these international workers and students a living hell. Denial rates for new skilled worker visas roughly quadrupled under Trump, from an average of about 7% in the 5 years before he took office to 29% in the first half of fiscal 2020. Then, in mid-2020, a legal settlement forced the administration to stop many spurious denials. Trump's appointees also made it much more difficult for skilled workers already here to renew their visas, adding red tape even when nothing about the workers' circumstances had changed. Trump's immigration officials threw so much sand in the gears that visas were sometimes mailed out after they had already expired. So, all this stuff is just campaign puffery. This is the kind of stuff that he likes to say to different audiences just to make them happy. And he apparently got the approval on that podcast. And then after the backlash, he walks it back. If you are thinking that Trump is playing some 4D chess, then you're not paying attention, because it's more like flying by the seat of his pants. Do you really think he came up with a very detailed proposal before he went and spoke in Las Vegas that he was going to eliminate taxes on tips? Do you think that that's a policy proposal that he came up with over time? No, he came up with that just, again, on the seat of his pants, on the fly, just deciding to say, hey, I'm in front of this audience of a lot of workers, service workers, so let's eliminate taxes on tips. How about that? That way I can get your votes. But if you really think that's going to happen, then you haven't been following Donald Trump. Trump's plans for a second term would likely be worse. In late 2020, Trump tried to implement even more restrictions on high-skilled immigration, including one that would have once again jacked up denial rates for skilled worker visas. Perhaps most relevant, he sought to reduce how long STEM international students could work here after they graduated. Fortunately, neither policy was successfully implemented before he left office. Why then did Trump make this new green card promise, at least until his campaign walked it back? Simple. He's pandering both to his deep-pocketed Silicon Valley donors as well as to the broader public.
All right, open your boxes. Open your boxes. 1, 2, 3.
So stay tuned. I'm Dave Aronberg, aka the Florida Law Man, here on the MeidasTouch Network. If you like this video, please leave a comment below and share with a friend. And I'll see you next time.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.